Hey YouTube, it's me, PipeCat. And today I'd like to say a few words about variety. Variety and selection and personal preferences. Right here in my good old trusty Forsetti straight billiard pipe, I am smoking a bowl of the Mississippi River. Seattle Pipe Club's Mississippi River. It's one of my absolute favorites, along with Cult Conspiracy, Frog Morton on the Town, Dunhill Flake. There's a lot of selection available to the average pipe smoker, and let your tastes guide your selection. Don't let the ads or reviews, even like mine, guide your selections. Pick what suits you. And I decided today that I would talk about really the very big differences in flavors and qualities, prices, and availability of various smokes. I'm not gonna dwell on any one in particular, but you know, I'll save the fun ones. But right off the bat, Mississippi River, which, as you can tell, I just peeled the label off and put it on a jar here. This stuff is probably the best all-around tobacco, I think, that I keep in my collection. It's the most well-rounded. It's really full tasting and all that stuff, and very satisfying. I don't get any tongue bite out of it. When you open up that canister that it comes in and you just stick your nose in it, boy, it's rich as the fresh broken earth. It's beautiful. So that's a standby. Another of my standbys is right here, Frog Morton on the Town. It's a little bit more contoured of a smoke than Mississippi River. A little more specific. The same richness is there, but a couple little hints of a little bit more complexity, a little more emphasis on, you know, other things, smokiness, spiciness, that kind of thing. Dunhill Flake, another of my absolute favorites. This is probably the simplest one of all. It is just Virginia Flake. I'm not a real expert of different tobacco species and varieties, but I can tell you that this is just supposed to be Virginia tobacco. Some of it is that yellow lemony kind of Virginia. This is fresh as hay and grass and outdoors, and really refreshing smoke. This, to me, is like a cup of tea. That's how I look at it. And I love it. It comes in individual flakes. It's fun to smoke. It really is. Those are kind of your standbys. There are plenty of varieties that are like those. That middle, you know, good quality, but not super expensive, boutique-y kind of thing. You know, just stuff you can smoke every day and always love it. But then there are variations. Cult tobaccos tend to be very varied and extremely cultured. These are contoured tobaccos. They tend to be very aromatic, but boy, are they nice. And the room note and the flavor and the smokability. I mean, you pay a little bit extra for something like that, but that's a fun tobacco. That's one that, like I said, if you're a new guy, if you start here, you will definitely delve into other tobaccos, because this one will excite you about smoking. So those are kind of your basic varieties. But let's look at the variations. Here's one. I don't like to down talk anybody. Stanwell, they make very nice everyday pipes. You know, that was my very first impression of this stuff. It says Stanwell cherry tobacco, and you know what it is? It's cherry tobacco. It's tobacco with cherry sprayed on it or something. It's loaded with some kind of casing. It's just kind of, you know. So that's on the downside. That's kind of a spare. I'll keep it for if I run out or whatever. Here's one right here. This is kind of fun. This is almost like I've heard this referred to as like a drugstore variety tobacco. Admiral's Choice Vanilla Cavendish. You can buy an 8-ounce bag of that very inexpensively. And you want to know something? Let them say what they will about it. It's just vanilla Cavendish tobacco, but it's a nice, rich, hearty smoke. I mean, it comes with all of the downside of aromatics. It gets a little juicy and it's very sweet and cloying. But when you want sweet and cloying, this one is a fun one. I recommend that one. Unlike the Stanwell, which, you know, you don't get the richness and you don't get the satisfaction. It's just tobacco with cherry on it. Whereas this one here, cheap as it may be, is good tobacco with vanilla in it. I don't know if it's a vanilla casing. I would imagine they probably use one, but the sweetness of the Cavendish alone makes it worth it. This is a fun smoke. I do that just every couple of days. I dig it. Then you go to the other side of the spectrum, which is the danger zone tobacco. Let me show you one of those. Comoy's Cask 11. This stuff right here, boy, I'll tell you what. In the previous review of this stuff, I have called this, Latakia hell, or heaven as the case may be. I started out calling it hell. You be quiet. And I have now decided to call it heaven. This stuff is, it's one of the nicest and most flavorful tobaccos that I have ever purchased. My first impression of it was horrid. Horrid. I opened it up and said, oh God, what did I buy? But after a couple of bowls, I was not able to go back. This stuff is beautiful. There's another one that I have. It's called Dunhill My Mixture 965 that is kind of like that. Smoky and dark and bitey. And did I ask you anything? I don't think so. You too. And the horse you rode in under. That's June, by the way. PipeCat's cat number 2. I've got 3. What do we got here? Okay. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good example of bulk tobacco, which Comoy's was too. But bulk tobacco from Pipes and Cigars, Scotty's Butternut Burley. This is a sweet, nice, well thought out burley tobacco. It's a step up from the Admiral's Choice and God, certainly from the Stanwell Cherry. This one is, again, it's a rich smoke. It's a nice smoke. It's really sweet. And it is butterscotchy. It's really, it's a sweet experience without getting gross. That's what I love about this stuff. And again, it's not that expensive. You buy it by the ounce. I didn't want to dwell on any one thing. As I said, I've got many more over there. Many varieties of Frog Morton. A couple of Dunhills. And this right here, this is what pipe smokers eventually start doing. They experiment. You like something from that, you like something from that, you like something from that. You'll wonder how they would play together. There's no reason why you shouldn't make a little mix of your own. Keep track of what you put in it, you know. This particular blend here, well, it might not have been optimum, but it was worth a shot, you know. It's still a decent smoke. But the pipes you choose, anything from really inexpensive to pretty expensive. And this right here, this makes up for the Stanwell lousy cherry tobacco. This is a Stanwell Pipe of the Year 2015. That is a nice fucking pipe. And it wasn't even that expensive. It's an interesting shape, you know. But, Stanwell is the working man's pipe. You know, you don't pay a lot for it, but you get something fancy sometimes. And, of course, the cob pipes that we've talked about already. Absolutely universal pipe. You can do anything with that. You can smoke anything you want in it, and 5 minutes later you can smoke something else in it, and it won't matter to it. Pipes for aroma, pipes for flavor. I've got several flavor pipes. And then your little accessories. A pouch, a tobacco pouch. I keep Captain Black Royal in that with a cob pipe, and that's what comes out on the road with me. But you see how eclectic and varied. This is just a small sampling of my collection. Not that I'm really a big collector. I just like to have different stuff. And that's the beauty of pipe smoking. When you get into it, you can experiment all over the place. There are guys who just find something they like, they stick to it, they don't smoke anything else, they swear by it. I recommend variety. Try ones that other people have said they can't stand. You may find that you love it. I read reviews on Camoy's Cask 11, and everybody's saying, oh, it's a nice smoke, you know, this and that. And I smelled it and went, oh my God, what are you thinking? This shit sucks. But then, a couple of bowls later, I started saying, they were right. This stuff is great. I can't leave it alone. Once you get used to that bite, or once you get used to that richness, or that natural kind of grassiness, or that fun, or, you know, that rich earthiness, that really satisfying earthiness, you know. Fun vanilla, fun butterscotch, deep, complicated aromatic stuff. You can find something to suit your palate any day. But the main message is, this is all for enjoyment. This is entertainment. None of this should be a habit. I'm addicted to trying it. I'm addicted to liking it. It may even be a phase for me right now, and then after a while I'll calm it down. But right now I'm exploring it, so I'm having a ball. But please, remember, and I try to tell myself this is a hobby. This is fun. This is entertainment. It's clumsiness. And don't make it a habit. Keep it a hobby. And that's all PipeCat has to say today. And hopefully all PipeCat's cat had to say today. Hey, June. Say goodbye. Wow. Or not.